Good morning, students. Today we are going to see the next topic in our chapter metals and nonmetals. In the previous class, we have seen the chemical properties of metals and nonmetals with respect to reaction with oxygen, that is reaction with air. And today we are going to see the next property, that is a chemical property, reaction with water. So start with reaction with water. So metals reacts with water to form metal hydroxide or metal oxide and hydrogen gas is released. So depending upon the reactivity of metals reacts with water at different temperature. That means if a metal is highly reactive, it can react with the cold water also. If a metal is less reactive, it will require little bit warm or higher temperature, or we can say hot water. But if a metal is very less reactive, it will require the steam. The steam will be having much more amount of higher energy as compared to the hot water. And still there are certain metals which don't react with the water only, whether they are in cold state, whether water is in a hot state, or whether the water is in the vapor form. These metals, they don't react with it at all. So let's see for the cold water reactions. So sodium, potassium, calcium reacts vigorously with cold water and forms metal hydroxides with release of hydrogen gas. Now this reaction is highly exothermic reaction. Now in this case, what happens? Like when potassium or sodium is added in water, now this potassium or sodium reacts vigorously. Now these elements are highly reactive. So they react vigorously, releasing tremendous amount of heat energy. Now this heat energy is sufficient enough for that hydrogen to burn. So immediately the hydrogen which is released, it catches fire. And thus you will see that the metal is burning and the burning metal is floating on water. So here the reaction which is given is of potassium. So two potassium atoms reacts with water molecule to form two molecules of potassium hydroxide and hydrogen gas is released. Now this hydrogen gas release can be collected in a test tube and then it can be tested by bringing a burning candle. The moment you bring a burning candle, the hydrogen gas burns with a pop sound. So burning of a gas producing a pop sound is the indication or confirmation that the gas which is produced is hydrogen. So I can say that the sure test for hydrogen is making of a pop sound. Now we'll see the next, that is when the temperature of water is hot or when the hot water is allowed to react. So magnesium reacts with hot water to form magnesium hydroxide and hydrogen gas is released. So here magnesium reacts with water molecule to form magnesium hydroxide and hydrogen gas is released. The third step, that is the third part, that is the steam. So here aluminium, iron are some elements which reacts with steam to form aluminium oxide and hydrogen gas is released. Now if you compare this reaction, in the previous reactions you can see there is formation of hydroxides, whereas in case of aluminium, iron, zinc, there is formation of oxides. There is no formation of hydroxide. So here two atoms of aluminium reacts with three molecules of water to form aluminium oxide with three molecules of hydrogen gas is given out. Now there are the elements like lead, copper, gold, platinum. They do not react with water or steam. Now see, regarding non-metals, they don't react with water. So non-metals are not at all reacting with water. So here we have only reaction with metals and we don't have any reaction with non-metals. Now we'll see the third chemical property, that is reaction with dilute acids. So metals react with dilute acids to form salt and hydrogen gas will be given off. So sodium reacts with hydrochloric acid to form sodium chloride and hydrogen gas is given off. In the same way, magnesium will react with hydrochloric acid to give magnesium chloride and hydrogen gas is given off. If instead of hydrochloric acid, if I have sulfuric acid, that is H2SO4, then sodium is going to react with H2SO4 to form sodium sulfate and hydrogen gas will be released. Again the same reaction. So the formation of a salt and hydrogen gas is given out. The third one, that is a displacement. Now see, if you observe here, there is a displacement kind of a reaction taking place. So if you observe, as compared to the third reaction which is given, that is iron reacting with copper sulfate, there is formation of ferrous sulfate and copper is displaced. In the same way, when sodium is reacting with HCl, sodium is displacing hydrogen and there is formation of NaCl and hydrogen gas is released. So this is also an example of a displacement reaction. So the chemical reaction in which highly reactive element or a metal displaces the less reactive element or metals from its salt solution is called as a displacement reaction. Non-metals do not react with acids. So when we say the reaction with dilute acids, non-metals are not going to react with acids. Next is the reaction with the base. Metals like zinc and aluminium reacts with sodium hydroxide or potassium hydroxide to form their respective salts and hydrogen gas is released. So zinc reacts with sodium hydroxide to form sodium zincate and hydrogen gas is given out. Aluminium reacts with sodium hydroxide to form sodium aluminate and hydrogen gas is given out. Non-metals reacts with base are very complex and we'll learn in the higher classes. So you don't have any chemical reaction where non-metal is reacting with the base. See, reaction with acid, metals we have, and non-metals they don't react with acids. With the bases, few metals react with the base, but non-metals don't. Non-metals chemical reaction with the base is slightly complex, so you'll be learning in the higher class. So with this, today we'll end our lesson, and in the next class we'll go ahead, we'll see the other properties. Children, I would like to tell you to write all the chemical reactions which we have done today in your classwork, and still if you have any doubt, please contact your teacher.